this agenda or any prior agenda or in the minutes, and therefore, absent proper advance public notice, the board cannot simply willy-nilly adopt new rules whenever it wants. It has to give notice, it has to have that on the agenda. But the other point that I wanted to raise today was with respect to Mr. Raymond's participation on this panel. Mr. Raymond previously sat on the Regional Plan Commission. He cast a vote in favor of the project. In fact, at the very first meeting, he stood up when there was some issue about whether the room was large enough and said, folks, this is going to go through. Now, anyone having those types of preconceived notions cannot sit in the same stead as the rest of you folks.
I'm going to stop you there.
And keep an open mind.
I'm going to stop you right there. There's two opinions by Illinois State's Attorney that a member of the Regional Planning Commission can also be a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals. They do not conflict with each other.
Sir, given the predisposition of that particular individual, the statements that he made, the factual situation here is substantially different than the one I laid out in those two advisory
I don't think
opinions.
it's different at all. He had no personal interest in the Dimucci property. He had no financial interest in the Dimucci property. He merely was sitting on a regional planning commission, listening to the testimony and the offering a vote.
I would submit to you,
That
sir,
doesn't make it personal.
I didn't say it was personal. What I said is there are preconceived notions, and what I'm suggesting to you is that your own rules and the ordinance that created your body specifically contemplates that there are two alternate members of the Zoning Board of Appeals. And the reason there are two alternates is for specifically situations like this where one person ought to be recusing themselves. And it is our request that Mr. Raymond recuse himself, and that failing that this body or the county remove him from these proceedings and that one of the alternates be there, someone who can come to the evidence with an open mind, listen even-handedly to both sides, and then make an informed decision, rather than walking in here and tuning out everything else that's said, knowing which way it's going already, having already passed that vote.
How do you think, Mr. Chairman? My name is Mark. I'm EIDEN. I'm the petitioner's attorney. I just wanted to respond to Mr. Hunt's comment. I don't think there's anybody on the zoning board that doesn't walk in here with some knowledge of this case. I don't think there's anybody here who would not be impartial, but I think everybody knows what the issues are, has a good idea what the issues are, even though we're going to go over all of that in the coming weeks. But to say that somebody has a predisposition or not, I think many people probably do come in with some kind of predisposition, but that's the purpose of the hearing. We all present our cases. Fair minds can change their minds. They can reassess the evidence. The fact that he may have a thought about the case coming in, I find that very normal, not unusual, and I think he should continue to sit on this board and not be substituted by any alternate.
Thank you.
Chairman, I'm Dan Shapiro. I'm going to try and sneak in here if I may.
What is your name?
Dan Shapiro.
Dan Shapiro.
I think you've received my letter asking that Chairman Raymond be recused and disqualified. Have you received that?
Say it again.
Have you received my letter asking that Chairman Raymond be recused and
Yes, I
disqualified?
have.
Okay. So I'm not going to read the letter. Our positions are aligned with Mr. Hunt and Mr. Sousa. But just to emphasize, and I have another point I'd like to make. Just to emphasize, what makes him unique in this scenario is that he's on both boards. We're not saying you can't be on both boards. What we're saying is he's already voted in favor, a recommendation in favor of the Dimucci proposal. He's already made up his mind. He's not objective. He can't be said to be objective. And I would think that this board would want people with open minds to consider all the evidence, to consider and judge everything before, and not have a member who's already decided it before it even gets to you. So I renew our request to have him recused and disqualified pursuant to your own rules, which I believe is 1H of your ZBA rules. The second matter I'd like to address is at approximately 1:18 this afternoon, I received an email from another law firm, not Mr. Ives' firm, but from another law firm representing Mr. Dimucci. In that letter, and I've been involved in this matter as long as it's been kind of going through the process in the county for several months, at least 4 months. So I got the letter 4 hours ago. I've been in the case for 4 months. In the letter, it was suggested that I be disqualified because I worked at a firm several years ago that once represented Mr. Dimucci, and that I work at a firm that 15 years ago represented Mr. Dimucci. We've looked thoroughly into those, and our findings, both current and former firm, is that there's no conflict, no waiver was required, there's no conflict of interest. To be safe and to make sure that these meritless allegations are completely closed off, I've ordered the 97 files to make sure that there's no issue whatsoever. What I suggest to this board is, in order for me, and I just got this 4 hours ago, they knew been in this case for many months.
I don't think that has been shared with this board.
Well, I want to suggest something that will take me about 60 seconds to conclude my thought. In order for me to give an appropriate and professional response, look at those 97 files. I would ask that this hearing be continued. More importantly, Mr. Iden represents Mr. Dimucci here. And as late as 2009, he's represented the village of Hawthorne Woods on several matters, including a matter for which a document will be in contest during these hearings. So I think he owes it to this board to go back to his records and determine whether he's got a conflict in proceeding as well. In addition, I would ask that any state's attorney who's at all worked in a private setting go back and find out if they worked for or against the village of Hawthorne Woods, North Carolina, and Mr. Dimucci to determine if there's a conflict and disqualification. For those reasons, Mr. Chairman, in order for all of us to make sure all of our ducks in a row, these proceedings should be postponed.
We're not going to postpone it. No more, Mr. Braithwaite. Please wait. Let me finish. I got you down here. On a matter of Mark Raymond, all I can go by is the Illinois State's Attorney's opinion. He can sit on both boards, and so he's going to stay on the board and participate in these hearings.
With all due respect, sir, that's an issue for the board to decide, not just the chairman.
I just decided.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to make it clear to the zoning board of appeals that the village of North Barrington joins in the motion of the village of Hawthorne Woods that the chairman of the planning commission should not be sitting and voting on this matter as a member of the zoning board of appeals. It's not only the fact that he has voted, clearly made up his mind by that vote, but during those of us who were there for the proceedings know that he clearly favored the petitioner. And for whatever reason, he has every right to vote as a member of the Plan Commission. He has every right to be in favor of the petition, but he should not carry that forward on his proceedings, and he certainly would not be a human being if he felt he could come here today and have an open mind in view of what has already transpired.
Mr. Chairman,